And it's been a long week here in Central Texas.
Hunter Williams joins us again to talk about what we've learned from the tornadoes that hit our area on Monday. We talked about 20 minutes ago a little bit about this, but I want to get back to the warning process. A lot of people said, I never heard the sirens, and as Connor told us yesterday, a lot of places don't even have the sirens, and they're not meant to warn us if we're in our house anyway.
Right. I mean, it's always going to be hard to hear those depending on where you live. And like you said, some communities don't even have those here. So those are a great tool in our toolbox, but not meant to be the only way that we have to receive warnings. So we've talked a lot about, having a good app. We obviously recommend the KVUE app, but that's an app that knows where you are and it will push an alert to your phone if you're in a tornado warning. I think that's really useful, especially on days where we have multiple tornado warnings simultaneously. Obviously, watching TV, we talked about NOAA weather radios. It's great to have 2 or 3 reliable ways to get your weather alerts on days like this, and that just ensures, say, hey, your phone's not with you, maybe you have a NOAA weather radio that still alerts you. If you're not at home, maybe you have the app with you. There's just lots of ways to go about this to make sure that no matter what situation you're in, you get the warning.
I like the fact you're saying just don't rely on one, because if one fails, you want to have various levels.
Yeah. And the thing is, the reason we're bringing this up is because this is just the beginning of severe weather season.
Right. And we're so happy that we were able to make it through this really significant severe weather event, and there was no loss of life. And I mean, you see videos like that from the Elgin tornado, that car being spun around. No one died here across Central Texas, which is amazing given we had 5 confirmed tornadoes, and several of those, especially the Round Rock tornado, moving through highly populated areas. And I think that's a testament to the warning process and how it worked. And we talked earlier about this exact video. We had this Skycam on our Kalahari site, and it showed the tornado live in person. And most of the time we're standing in front of radar images, and radar does a great job of telling you, hey, there's a tornado here, we think there might be something. When you see that video, there's no we think, that's a tornado. And I think people saw that and they knew exactly where it was. They said, hey, that's a Kalahari, that's heading towards Hutto, that's heading towards, we knew where it was. And I think people saw that video and really took action. And that's what we strive to do, is we try and put people out in the field to report on this damage. We try and have our Skycam network in a position to see things like that, because we know if you see video like that, you'll act, and you'll probably act in a way that if you're just looking at a radar image, it's not going to be the same.
You're right. Seeing really is believing. And I know that some people, I'm calling my friends, because really it's here. It's here. We can see how powerful it is. Just looking towards the season, what are you kind of anticipating? Or obviously this is the start of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to forecast out for an entire season. And obviously our hope, especially given we started the season so active, is that we don't have a bunch more issues. But we're coming off a really active season last year. We had several big hailstorms that impacted, big population centers. And, I think this could end up being another pretty active year for us. I'm watching our next threat for some storms around the middle of the week. And, I think that's just kind of the mentality we're going to have moving forward. We had this big event early in the season. As forecasters, I'm going to try and look out and pinpoint these things as early as we can, just to make sure everybody's prepared. And, we'll keep our fingers crossed. And I think we learned a lot through this process, and we'll be able to move forward through the rest of the season.